Climate change is a pressing global challenge. India, with its vast population and diverse geographical features, is particularly vulnerable. The country's economy is heavily reliant on climate-sensitive sectors. These include agriculture, forestry, and fisheries. Changes in weather patterns, rising temperatures, and extreme weather events pose significant risks to India's sustainable development and the well-being of its citizens. India's economic dependence on climate-sensitive sectors makes it highly susceptible to the impacts of climate change. A significant portion of the population relies on agriculture for their livelihoods. Changes in rainfall patterns, increased temperatures, and extreme events like droughts and floods can severely impact agricultural productivity, leading to economic losses and threatening food security. The World Economic Forum estimates that climate change could cost India a significant percentage of its national income by the end of the century, potentially pushing millions of people into poverty. Addressing climate change is not just an environmental imperative for India, but also an economic and social necessity. The impacts of a changing climate are already being felt across the country, affecting livelihoods, displacing communities, and straining resources. Understanding the diverse ways in which climate change manifests itself across India is crucial for developing effective adaptation and mitigation strategies. This requires a multi-pronged approach involving government policies, technological innovation, community participation, and a shift towards sustainable practices. Agriculture, a cornerstone of the Indian economy, is facing the brunt of climate change. Erratic rainfall patterns, prolonged droughts, and intense floods are becoming increasingly common, disrupting agricultural cycles and impacting crop yields. The 2024 monsoon, for instance, while offering respite from drought conditions, also brought about excessive rainfall in certain regions, damaging crops and leading to economic losses for farmers. The impact on specific crops is also evident. Insufficient rainfall leads to a decline in the production of essential cereals and pulses, impacting food security. On the other hand, excessive rainfall damages oilseed crops, particularly soybean, and affects maize production. This variability in rainfall patterns creates uncertainty for farmers and makes it challenging to maintain stable agricultural outputs. The effects of climate change on agriculture extend beyond immediate crop damage. Rising temperatures can reduce crop yields, increase pest infestations, and alter the nutritional content of food. Changes in climate patterns also affect livestock, impacting their health, productivity, and reproductive cycles. These factors contribute to food insecurity, price volatility, and rural distress. The increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather events further exacerbate these challenges, pushing vulnerable communities further into poverty. Climate change impacts are not uniform across India. Different regions face unique challenges due to their geographical features and socio-economic conditions. Arid and semi-arid regions like Rajasthan are already grappling with water scarcity, and climate change is exacerbating the situation, leading to more frequent and severe droughts. This poses challenges for agriculture, livestock, and access to safe drinking water, impacting the livelihoods of millions of people. In contrast, flood-prone regions like Assam and Bihar are experiencing an increase in the frequency and intensity of floods. These floods cause widespread damage to crops, infrastructure, and property, displacing communities and disrupting normal life. Coastal areas are not immune either, facing threats from rising sea levels, coastal erosion, and more intense cyclones, putting coastal communities and ecosystems at risk. These regional disparities in climate change impacts highlight the need for location-specific adaptation and mitigation strategies. Addressing the unique vulnerabilities of different regions requires a nuanced understanding of local, ecological, social, and economic contexts. Policies and interventions need to be tailored to suit the specific needs of each region, ensuring that the most vulnerable communities are adequately supported to cope with the impacts of climate change. While climate change is increasingly recognized as a significant threat in India, public awareness and understanding of its causes and potential solutions vary widely. Surveys indicate that while a majority of Indians are concerned about climate hazards like heat waves, droughts, and floods, there is a need for greater awareness about the link between human activities and climate change. India has made significant strides in recent years in terms of policy and investment towards combating climate change. The country has set ambitious targets for reducing greenhouse gas emissions, increasing the share of renewable energy and enhancing energy efficiency. However, translating these commitments into concrete action requires sustained effort and investment. Building a climate-resilient India necessitates a multi-pronged approach. Investing in climate-smart agriculture practices, improving water management systems, promoting drought-resistant crops, and strengthening early warning systems for extreme weather events are crucial steps. Simultaneously, investing in renewable energy sources, promoting energy efficiency, and adopting sustainable transportation systems can help mitigate greenhouse gas emissions. Equally important is enhancing public awareness about climate change and building capacity at the local level to implement adaptation and mitigation strategies, empowering communities, particularly the most vulnerable, to cope with climate change impacts is essential for a just and equitable transition to a sustainable future.